Well, hello and welcome. My name is Kyle Swenson. I get to be your student's wood manufacturing teacher this year, and I'm excited for the start of a new year that hopefully looks pretty normal in almost all areas. We are meeting 5 days a week, just like we were before the pandemic hit. Wanted to click through a few slides here. I got a slideshow loaded up that I show students on the first day. Some of them I'm going to go really quickly through. Some of them we're not even going to talk about at all. But if you've got questions on any of it, please reach out. Love to talk with you. I can schedule a phone call just about any time that works for you. When we're looking at this class, one of the things that I like to share with students is that you can go to Twitter and see a little bit more about this class. One of the things that's fun on open house night is you're able to see the shop, see what your students are going to be building. And if you're not able to be here on open house night, you can certainly go to WHS Chopsaw on Twitter. Now, I don't post very regularly, but you can see some of the past posts, the equipment and the tools and the things that your students are going to be working on. So it's a nice place to see what we're doing if you're not able to be here. We talk a little bit about careers. It's something that a lot of students have never heard of, are skilled trades. This slide is from the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development, and it shares with us the fastest growing careers over the last decade in Minnesota. We see that the ones in red require a bachelor's degree or more, and the ones in blue and black require something more like trade school, tech school, on-the-job training, apprenticeship. And we're very clear with students. This doesn't mean these are the best jobs, but there are some careers in here. Ones I really like to highlight are brick masons, plumbers, HVAC, electricians, sheet metal workers. These are jobs that students often overlook or we just don't know a lot about, but those jobs they require an apprenticeship, which is a very formal way of doing education, and the students get a credential at the end of it. That's good anywhere in the country. But almost all of those jobs, when they finish their 5-year apprenticeship, are paying at least $80,000 a year, if not more. And so there's a lot of students in our classes that 4-year college is the right path for them, but there's a lot that's not the right path for them. And this is a way to get a very good career for no education cost that's good anywhere in the country. So we do talk about skilled trades because that is something that is they're really, really starving for people. They need young people. Looks like I accidentally clicked off of here. There's a website called tradeshub.com that we use. I share a little bit about my kids. I also have run a cabinet shop for a long time, and I share a little bit about that with kids. So all these pictures are projects that I've worked on in the past. We get to the goals for Woods class, and the first goal is to have a good time. All the research in education says that if kids have a good time in class, they're going to learn more. They're going to remember what they've learned longer. And I want to have a fun environment that I get to come to work to. So I try to create a fun environment for the kids to come into. And we really do usually have a good time. Now, we don't have chaos in here. We don't have students hurting themselves all the time. We don't have accidents happen continually. I think the worst accident in 10 years of teaching here has been 3 stitches. Now, hopefully that trend continues. But students do take the work pretty seriously here, and we do have fun while accomplishing quite a bit. The next 2 goals, understanding why you're here in the manufacturing process. I tell the kids, we just happen to have a great, big, beautiful wood shop here. And this would be the same process, though, if we're building cabinets or Harley-Davidson motorcycles. There is a raw materials, a process that happens to it, and that process might look a little bit different depending on the material that we're using. But just like a Harley-Davidson probably gets drawn and designed on a computer first, a piece of furniture or a cabinet does as well. So we touch on a lot of the CAD stuff. The students will all have an opportunity to use 3D design software and send that drawing to a robot that will cut their material out or some of their material out, just like it would if we were designing Harley-Davidson motorcycles. So there is the process that happens no matter what we're working on is all very similar. So I want the kids to understand the manufacturing process, and they're here because there is a ton of careers available here, and careers, some of them involve bachelor's degrees, some of them don't, and we get to talk about all of that. Understand there's a lot of careers in skilled trades. We learn soft skills, showing up on time, working hard, things that are very difficult to assess sometimes, but it's usually what people struggle with when they lose their jobs. And learn that it's okay to make mistakes. So we spend some time talking about safe machine tool operation. There's tests that all your students have to go through, so we're not just throwing them to the wolves. They are having to prove that they understand how to use this equipment. They're going to learn some design stuff. CNC operation, that's what we talked about, the 3D design software. It gets coded and sent to a robot called a CNC router. We have 3 of them in our shop that will cut out their projects. Problem solving, decision making, time management, complete 2 projects. We're starting basic. The students have a choice between a hat rack or a cutting board, and we have a lot of fun with both of them. And it's the ticket to using all of the machines. So it's this project that I use to teach all the machines, and a finished product is their way of showing me that, yep, I get it. Class expectations, they're pretty straightforward, pretty simple. This bottom one got cut off, it looks like, but be respectful. We don't do earbuds in class. Be on time to class. Understand that we're all going to make mistakes, and the point that got cut off is work hard and smart. That's the project that we're going to be building called a nightstand. That's our big project. There'll be time for extra credit, so these ladies were able to build some Adirondack chairs because they finished their projects early, and that's really common. We get a lot of students finishing quite early, especially the ones that really engage with class. And so I've got lots and lots of different things that they can work on when they finish working early. Working habits, we talk a lot about not quitting early. We have a lot of time to work, but if students start stopping 10 minutes early, they start losing days of time over the course of a term. After school work is great. I think I put in my availability on the hub that I'm available after school till about 3:45, which is an extra half hour or so, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm available before school at 7:50 until 8:15. Thursday and Friday, but those are just something that I had to put in the calendar. We can make lots of different times work. So if your student needs some extra time, they can use our time, which is that half an hour that they get every day, where I can ping them and they can come to Woods class, or before or after school. Almost always work for me as well. 70% of our grade is projects, which is about right because we spend a ton of our time doing projects. Tests and our final that we have in classes are 20%, and all of the day-to-day assignments that we do is worth 10%. And I'm going to make mistakes, so we ask that students check their grades and touch base with me if they don't like what they're seeing. That's about it. We hope to see you at some point here, conferences, or feel free to stop down. Look forward to having your students in class and in a great school year. Take care.